Depression isn't real. Social anxiety does not exist. Only weak, low-value men commit suicide. Just saying these things could get me canceled, but they're some of the most valuable sentences I could tell you. I'm Vaishvik, and I was voted goodest boy during high school, and I fucking hated it. So I'm gonna help you on the transition from good boy to top 1% man that I'm on. And if there was one piece of advice I could give you for this journey, it's that you should only have beliefs that serve you, and believe them extremely. The problem with the bottom 99% of men, like all the average men, is that they love to make excuses. Like, oh, I had depression since I was 12 years old, so the biological problems in my brain stop me from getting up in the morning. If you want to be a top 1% man, a respectable man, someone who enjoys his life so fully, would never even think about killing himself, and does whatever he wants, whenever he wants, without having to do anything immoral, right? If you want to be that type of man, then you need to take all of these excuses, which are often related to mental health disorders, and throw them in the fucking fire. I know that a lot of self-improvement creators and motivational speakers always say, stop making excuses. But I'm telling you to go extreme with it. We're going one step beyond that. Because think about it. If you believe that depression exists, we'll take depression as an example. If you believe that depression exists, you making excuses for why you can't achieve something using depression becomes a possibility. That makes sense, right? So I need you to believe, just for you, depression doesn't exist. It can't touch you. It never will touch you, and it can never enter your life. This sounds extreme, right? Now a lot of softies are going to be saying like, oh, actually, depression's a real mental health disorder, and it affects tons of people like genetics and shit, right? But since you want to be successful, right? Like not many other people will become, you need to believe that depression just can't touch you. Like it's not going to enter your life. It's not possible. You're too good for it. You're too good for depression. And if you think I'm delusional, that is correct. I have positive delusion. Positive delusion is like something that you believe that all the facts and the statistics and the science are all against it, but the belief benefits you, right? There's enough facts and science and statistics and surveys that show that depression is obviously like a real mental health disorder, right? But you believing you don't have it actually benefits your life because now you can't make excuses with it. And even if you did have it, you are actually better off knowing you didn't have it. I was actually like miserable as fuck in my 12th grade, like the beginning of 12th grade, right? And I actually thought like I might have depression because I was showing some depressive symptoms. And I was obsessed with knowing if there was a label that I could put on my problem. So I'd like watch YouTube videos about depression, go to counseling and all that shit, just to like find a label to put on my problem. And when I got a label on my problem, you know what I got? I got a fucking label on my problem. I didn't get a solution. I got nothing. Now I had something I could just add to my list of excuses for not achieving things and not doing things with my life. So this is why even if you actually do have like the disorder or whatever, you're better off knowing you just don't have it. You're better off knowing that you just are like everyone else and have the same amount of potential as everyone else. And there's no disease or mental health disorder holding you back from that. That is simply not the type of man you are. And it feels so much more refreshing and nice to feel that you can improve your life however you want without some stupid biological barrier in the way. So enough of me yapping, I'm going to tell you how to actually achieve this. And there's only one way that works really well. Get a really big ego. This sounds really bad at first, right? But let's think about what ego actually means, right? Ego is the amount of self-esteem you have. So mainly like your importance to the world, how important you feel you are to the world around you, right? I need you to increase your ego. You need to increase your level of self-importance drastically. You need to believe that you're such an amazing, successful, powerful person with so much capability and potential that these little diseases and little excuses that are only reserved for weak men can't touch you. And now I know there's a lot of people who are going to think that having a big ego is bad. But really think about this, right? Ego is how important you think you are to the world. If you think you're important to the world, isn't that a good thing? Don't we value the importance of feeling like we're important and that we should be on this earth for a unique reason and for giving a gift that only our individual selves can give? Isn't that valued? Everyone saying that you shouldn't get a big ego and you should just stay humble are literally trying to drag you down to the average, just okay level that they want you to be at. And you don't even want to be at that level anymore. If you really want to be better than everyone else around you, you need to believe that you will become better than everyone else around you. You need to believe that you deserve all that power that you're going to get. Because it's not a bad thing at all to think highly of yourself. Huge successful people like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, they had huge levels of confidence too. And when they expressed it, people called them cocky, arrogant, unrealistic. And then look what happened. They won. And then they got glazed for it, saying that they had such high levels of confidence that no one could reach. And when you try the same thing, people are going to make fun of you. People are going to say you're the one being cocky and arrogant until you win. And then you're going to get glazed for it. And you know another thing about people with big egos? They can't give up. They physically can't quit. It's not possible. It's not in their mindset to quit. It's not possible for them to ever give up on anything. That's why when they fail, they lose their company. They come back up with another company and they get successful again because they can't quit. Their egos are too high and they literally just can't accept failure at life. Doesn't that sound good? Wouldn't you rather be an extremely confident winner instead of a humble loser? Extreme confidence is only a bad thing to people who think lowly of themselves. They see you as a bad person for feeling more important now while they suffer from a lack of importance, which literally kills men. If a man feels that he has no purpose or importance to the world, he'll probably kill himself. So by increasing your ego drastically, you are literally just saving your own life and preventing yourself from ever committing or even wanting to commit suicide. And these evil fuckers that are below you, they're average. They see you as a bad person and they're going to call you one just because you feel more important now and they feel a little bit bad about it. Isn't that fucked? And the thing is, you don't even need to bring other people down to bring yourself up. You can just bring yourself up and inspire them. These people will create a fake influence in their heads that you bringing yourself up is technically bringing them down, even though you didn't do shit to them. Instead, you can just inspire them to come up with you. But as I said, the bottom 99% of men love to make excuses. So they'll probably just call you a bad person for it. But who gives a fuck? Because you're the one going up anyway. So this is your responsibility, your duty that you must fulfill after watching this. You're responsible for this. Increase your ego. See yourself as so important to the world that these little weak problems, these little sad problems like depression, suicidal thoughts, social anxiety, they can't harm you. They can't even touch you. You are too good for them. They don't even exist in your train of thought or life. And of course, take action to become more important too. I'm not telling you to become that type of guy that just talks and talks and talks and is still a fucking loser and doesn't take any action. Take action as well to become successful. But you need to think it first. You need to think you're going to be rich and then you'll become rich. You need to think you're going to become jacked and then you'll become jacked. That's how the world works. That's how you achieve anything you want. So start today. You are now guaranteed to become a top 1% man. Say it with me. I am now guaranteed to become a top 1% man. You are not the type of man to get into these little problems and then go to therapy and then whine about your problems and then get these fucking pills that don't even fucking help you more than like meditation and journaling would. You are the type of man who deals with his mental health like a fucking Chad. He meditates, he journals, he goes outside on walks, he expresses gratitude. He does all of that to preserve his mental health instead of doing all these pussy little behaviors. Never surrender to these labels. It's not that you meditate and journal because you don't want to be depressed. You could never be depressed because you're the type of man who meditates and journals and does all the good habits. You see that shift in mindset there? You need to think like that. This video won't change your life. You will.